Hello! We are going to go ahead and get this party started. The ball are rolling, things are cooking. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and I'm kind of excited that we get to actually do more or less another update on what exactly the progress has been here on SpeedRunners. So if you are not aware, basically, for past 8 months, I don't know how long at this point, but for the very long portion of this year, I have been working on creating this game called SpeedRunners here inside of Rec Room. So this is a recreation of the game SpeedRunners. So if you're not familiar with that game, I've explained it every single stream, so I think I'm going to refrain from doing it this time, because we're not actually going to be working on the juice of the game. We are going to be working on just some of the stuff in the lobby. You may hear an echo for a split second, because I'm going to open up the stream here, just so I can make sure everything is working. Perfect. There we go. No echo even. Heck yeah. Alright, so, yeah, so I'm not going to explain it, because we're just going to be working on lobby stuff, so please forgive me if you don't understand what the heck is going on. I'll at least explain some of the stuff here in the lobby. But more or less, a lot has been done since the last time that I streamed this. The last time I streamed this, I'm trying to remember, it was kind of the last thing that we were doing. Honestly, I should have looked that up just so that I can, just so I could actually compare. But Dark BC, Mr. Bro, how's it going, everybody? Let me go ahead. I think I've got everything set up now. Perfect. I can see chat. We are doing wonderful. So yeah. If you can hear kind of faintly in the background there, we actually have music for the lobby now. Crazy. We have sound effects in the lobby now. Crazy. We have an actual logo. Crazy. So yeah, so a lot has happened. Needless to say. But yeah, let me just kind of go through a quick walkthrough of everything here in the lobby. Just so then that way we can just kind of get caught up to date on what everything or what has been done. So let me go and switch over here to the POV. Perfect. Was that what? Sleepy dragon plushie. Okay. That might as well happen. But first of all, leaderboards V2. Oh my goodness, it's the greatest thing of all time. Except for the fact that I don't think standalone players can see it. So it's really cool that, you know, we now have V2 and like we don't have to have the stupid thing that's, you know, following the player, and we can just put it up on a wall. But if standalone players can't see it, kind of defeats the purpose of having a leaderboard. So what we'll probably do is we'll have a button down here that you can like press, and it'll bring up the V1 leaderboard so that standalone players can see it. I mean, it might be a little bit obnoxious, but I really love the V2 leaderboards. So, anyways, yeah. So, like I said, I don't necessarily remember what was the last things that we had when I last streamed. I just know that a lot has been done, so I'm just going to walk through kind of just about everything. This is where the main menu is going to be. This is going to be one of the things that we might work on during the stream. I understand that whenever I stream building, I don't actually do all that much because I end up just talking the majority of the time. So, we may not get all that much done, but we might be working on constructing the main menu here. I've got a kind of a design that I'm thinking that we'll go for, so we'll see if we can recreate that. How to play board, that's been there for a while. We have the avatars, which there is actually now the Holotar V2, but it'd be some work to have to replace those. So, we're gonna see if we need the ink or not, because V2 doesn't take any ink. But just here inside the lobby, I mean, nothing really has changed all too much, just inside this main room. Inside of here, though, we actually have some decorations in the practice area, so it actually looks a little bit more exciting instead of, you know, just being some blank walls. So we have some pillars, we've got some trims, changed some of the colors and whatnot. I'm not set on the color choices, so I may still change this main blue brick, but we will actually see if that will be the case or not. More or less, that's kind of been the update for this area, as it actually looks nice enough. Inside the shop, this is where a lot of the work has been done. We actually have all of our collectibles now that you can purchase that actually have working keys and everything to it. I went through and I took images for each of the things. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But more or less, these are just collectibles that you can buy using the in-game currency that we're going to have. These don't really serve a purpose other than the fact that you can hold them, you can take a picture with it. I don't know. They're just there as something that you can have. And of course, there is the infamous cheese that you can buy for 500. This is then going to be part of the nickname section. So this on this shelf here will be the spot that you can actually choose your nickname. So kind of like how it is in Make It to Midnight, instead of having the username up there, or it'll have the, instead of having the level up there, it'll have the level of the room, but then you can also have a custom nickname. Custom in quotation marks because it's just going to be presets that you can choose from, but then you can also choose it to be a different color. So how you unlock the different names and the different colors are varying. Where with these, you know, you can buy it using the in-game currency, with the color of cheese being the most expensive. You'll have a couple that you can unlock here just from leveling up, and then this one here is actually going to be locked behind an achievement, which that's actually what those are, which I'll get to here in a little bit. And then up here will be all of the nicknames that you can then choose for what that nickname will actually be. It'll be something like Speedster, Speedrunner, and then there'll be one for cheese. It'll be the most expensive. Then there'll be some that'll be either free, locked behind level walls, or also achievements. So a bunch of different stuff that you can pick there. Haven't decided what that's going to look like just yet. But this will then just be some other stuff you can buy. Honestly, don't know what's going to go up there yet. However, up here, this is where the achievements are. So this is something that Reticle was working on, where basically you can see that if I try and pick this thing up, I can't actually pick it up. That's because I don't have this achievement yet. We're going to see if there's a way that we can actually like have the text popped on screen of like what the requirement is going to be. But this one is you have to beat the insane level of parkour, which isn't actually built yet, which may be another thing that will work on the stream. So I can actually pick this up because I haven't completed that achievement. So that's how the achievements are going to work. We're going to have a whole bunch of them. I'll probably make these bigger so you can actually see them up there on the top shelf. And then we'll have some of the other nickname stuff that'll be locked behind that as well. This beautiful sign here is going to be where all of the level up rewards are. We just have more decor over here. I've added some stuff. I'll probably add some more clutter right about here. These are the consumables. These are most likely going to be changed into keys instead of consumables. But that's what those are. So that's all part of the parkour stuff, which that is another big thing that I've been working on here. But let me get caught up on chat here. It's been a long time. It has been a long time. The menu has your interest so far, the glorious menu of the blank screen. He might like cheese. You cannot confirm that. Also, Dark, you asked no banan. Don't worry. We have Team Patat, we have Team Kabag, and we have Team Banan. All right there in the consumables. Don't you worry. Cheese Master achievement for owning all the cheese stuff would be cool. That's actually a really good idea. Can you send me that on Discord? Because I'm going to completely forget by the end of the stream. So DM me on Discord of having something for all the cheese stuff. That would actually be really cool. Because there's this one, which is you get for having 1,000 coins. Which I may either up that to like 10,000 just so it's a little bit harder to get. Because I was doing the math, and the average player will probably be making around 25-ish coins per game, more or less. So that's kind of how the economy is going to work. So like the 1,000 or 500 is pretty dang expensive, but the rest of this stuff is fairly reasonable. I mean, like that's 4 games right there, which each game on average should take 5-ish minutes maybe. So all things considered, it's pretty good. So things aren't crazy expensive because you'll be getting about 25 a game, assuming you're an average skill player. If you're really good and you're winning every match and you're in the front collecting all the coins, you can probably get upwards of 30 to 40 coins per match. Yeah, that's more or less what that is. So here, this is the parkour room. This is some stuff where I know a few of these difficulties were built. I think we had the easy one, and I think we had the medium built since the last time I streamed. Some stuff has changed with that. I have my special E-Man button here. More or less that just removes the parkour so that I can work on the next one. But this is now in its final stage, where this is where the card inserts will be, where you can use the consumables and or keys, whatever it's going to end up being, which will be these cards. You can then take it and you can scan it in and it'll have that special parkour. But we also have an actual working swap out system. So boom, there's the medium parkour. It's not going to let me switch right away, but I don't know. I don't think you all can see it, but there's a prompt that says, please wait one moment. And so here we have the climbing difficulty. And then, I don't know if reticle is added in the climbing pass, but let me buy a couple of these. I can get them for free because I'm the owner. Wait, hold on. Now I actually have to... wait, no. This room inventory. I'm still having to learn how all this stuff works. There we go. So now I can pick this up. It's going to be different in the actual final game. And I don't know if this is... Okay, no, it's still putting it over there. Okay. Yeah, so that's something that because I changed how this looked, I screwed up with reticle's whole thing there. And so that's why it's like that. So, yeah, so now there's the hard parkour difficulty, and we're going to have to find out whether or not reticle has added the hard climbing difficulty into the actual system yet. Okay, I can grab it when I use the consumable. Oh. It ate my pass, and it didn't do anything. But all right, yeah, there is also the hard climbing, which, hold on, I can actually manually trigger that because the animation gizmo is... Oh, also, Rec Room is being Rec Room, and now every time you open up the Maker Pen menu, or like if I come here and I hit... Actually, no, it's not going to do it for that. But if you hit like configure on anything, edit on anything, it crazy lags out the game. It's just Rec Room being Rec Room, so there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. But yeah, so we'll have fun with that today. But yeah, so then there's also the hard climbing, which big thing I was struggling with this. I was having Baggy come out and play test some stuff for me as well. And it's hard to make everything seem original in the climbing parkours. Oh, I guess, and in the parkours as well, just because it's more or less the same thing, and I haven't given myself much opportunity to have variety inside of the this little pentagon thing that I made here, right? 5 sides? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 sides. What is a 7-sided shape? I don't actually know. Because it's whatever's one above a hexagon. One below. Wait, no. Wait, no, hexagon's 8. Or is a hexagon 6? I don't know. I'm making myself look stupid. Either way, whatever the 7-sided shape is called, yeah, I didn't give myself much opportunity of stuff I can actually do in here. So, I mean, like, I try to do something slightly different by having these little posts here that you can swing around that for whatever reason look like they're from Star Wars. I don't know why. That's what my brain like goes back to when I see those. But one of the other things that we might do during the stream is go ahead and change the top of these finished lines to look like this. Because from the bottom, I'm not set on that, but I don't like it from the top, so we'll probably change it to what that one is. But anyways, yeah, that's what all that is. So more or less, that is everything that we have gotten done since the last time I streamed, which I don't know when that was. Hello? Is it... Did I break it? I may have broken it. Oh well. We'll reload the save. It should work. But this is one of my favorite things. Is just coming up here and seeing all of this chaos. I think it's pretty funny. Octagon is 8. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, it's been like that for 4 weeks or so. Yeah, it's been ridiculous. It's been incredibly annoying. But also Telfie, how's it going? All right. Wait, hold on. Have you thought of making perks like dash or super jump? Yes. So there are power-ups that you can get. The pillars make you think of the Roblox shoot in Star Wars. I don't know what the Roblox shoots are, but I definitely agree on the Star Wars. But yes, so inside of the actual game, there will be these items. So these are the things that you can get. Again, that's all part of the actual SpeedRunners game. Everything that's in here, this is just the lobby. This is just the lobby of the game. This is just so that you can hang around and wait for players to show up before you actually start the actual game. This is not the game itself. So I know this kind of looks like a little bit more developed than what a lot of Rec Room games are. That's intentional. This is meant to be more of an actual game than kind of your standard Rec Room game. So this is just the lobby. This is literally just so that you can hang out and pass time. The parkour, I'm making it a little bit more developed to the point where, sometimes people may not want to play SpeedRunners, but they'll make a private instance of the game and they'll just come in here and have fun with the parkour. So that was kind of my idea with the parkour, was having it just accessible enough that anyone can come in and just have fun with it while they wait, or they could exclusively come to this room to still enjoy the parkour. So that's kind of the idea with that. But yeah, this is just the lobby. So it's a lot. If you're wondering why it's been taking me, 5+ months to work on this, that's why. Yeah, look at that. Beggy's still above me because Beggy freaking cheesed all of his coins right at the start. Okay, all right. I say we actually start getting some stuff done. And also, you may be questioning what these characters are. If you don't know the original game of SpeedRunners, that's what these characters are. So this is SpeedRunners, which is a character from the original SpeedRunners. And then you have Cosmonaut, and then you have Hothead, which Hothead is the character that I always played as whenever I played SpeedRunners. So there is a fourth one, because there's like 4 of the quote-unquote like atypical characters for SpeedRunners. It's a guy in a unicorn costume basically, but my memories from playing SpeedRunners is with me, Little J, and Mr. Mark, and so this was always me, that was Little J, and that was Mr. Mark. So those are the 3 that I decided to make because I felt like they're a little bit more visually appealing, but also that's kind of what I just took away from the game. I was thinking I might also try and create a panda and have that here on these as well, but who knows. Also, look how good the baggy model looks. Look how good that is. It's beautiful. I knew absolutely nothing about how to make models like this. This was the first one that I did. This was the second, and this was the third. And I think you can see that they get from mediocre to better to pretty dang good, and then really dang good. The fourth one that I did. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked with how they've all turned out, which is kind of epic. But all right, okay, hold on. Will there be a leaderboard for each difficulty, as in for like the parkour difficulties? There isn't going to be a leaderboard stat. However, we are going to have a timer system. And I don't know, I'm going to have to ask Reticle about this, but whether or not we can actually keep track of your personal best time. And I want to see if there's either a way that we can display that up here, of like once you get up to the top, it'll be a text that says, your time was blank, your best time is blank. Or if it's just a text that we can have show up on the player's HUD. But I don't even know if that's something that we can keep track of. So we'll have to see. But yeah, it's not going to be something that is going to be categorized for all players to see. It's just going to be for you, which I might see if I might here or there in my my Discord, my YouTube channel Discord, I might make some custom text channels just for SpeedRunners, and one of those things that I may include is best times for the different levels of parkour. So that might be some way that we can keep track of it. Just so there's some friendly competition between those that actually want to do it. But we will eventually have time trials for the actual maps for the game, but that is to come after the release. But at the rate that we're going, I'm going to finish up everything that I have to do, and there will probably still be more time before the game actually gets published, so I may have some time to work on some extra maps. So we might actually have 2 maps when we fully release. That's just all going to come down to when we can finish the actual juice of the game. But my responsibilities mostly lie here in finishing up the lobby, which we're almost done with. We're definitely getting really close. You can see definitely with the empty shelf space. It's not quite there, but we're getting there. Anyways, I say we actually go ahead and start building. So I vote. I think my vote's really the only one that matters. My vote is that we go ahead and we start on the main menu. Because the other day, I went through and I created all of the text that I had to for the main menu here. Because I took a screenshot of the square for the main menu there, and then I went into Photoshop and I basically just created it on the computer of what I wanted it to look like. So now we just have to actually bring that into the game. So this is all of the text that will be here. So now we just need to actually get that onto the main menu. Yoink. All right, spin this sucker around. Let's go this way. And then let's scale this down. I mean, most of it will probably be around that size. All these are going to be different, though. Okay, all right. What I'm also thinking we can do is we can maybe put like the streamer cam right here, so then you can just see me working on it. Yeah, let's do that. Because we always do the POV stuff. So let's go. Also, you can see all the different. I've been trying all of these different like random rooms because I'm like, I want to do more community streams if I can, but I don't want to just do the, you know, I don't want to keep doing the Rec Room Originals. I want to try all this, all these other custom rooms, and everything just nowadays just kind of sucks. Also, big lag spike. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't try some of this other stuff. Like some of the more popular stuff. Like, I know I've done the volleyball. I've seen Baggy in that one. I think that's just a hangout room though. But then you've got some stuff like this, and then, you know, you've got the Rec Military roleplay. So those rooms I'm not even gonna touch, but all of the like random little mini games that I've tried. Like, look at this. Like this thing has 7.9 million room visits. And if you haven't tried it, it's horrible. Like, it's something that someone threw together in a weekend. Like, it's not good. No offense to the creators who made this. No offense to you, Dylan. However, it's very low effort, and it has 7.9 million. So it's just like, what is Rec Room devolved into? I mean, like, by the time I can finally actually get this room released, is there going to be a player base to enjoy it? So I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to pull out this guy. So, and then we can get a third-person view of the building here. Yeah, let's do it right about there. Perfect. All right, cool beans. So now you will actually get a third-person view of what I'm doing here. Give me a game recommendation because you might get a Quest 3. You haven't played Rec Room in a while. Almost a month or two. If you want like an actual like good room, hold on. Let me pull up the favorites here and see what I've got. Not much. Okay, the last one that I played that I actually like kind of enjoyed that surprised me was one called Neon Lane. That was one that was recommended to me by a viewer, and I think it was actually viewer made. But that was actually kind of enjoyable. I did enjoy that one. So, like, Neon Lane right there. That was actually kind of fun one. That's one where like you can't spend hours upon hours in, but you know you can play it for like 30 minutes and kind of enjoy it. So I was one that surprised me for how enjoyable it was. Anyways, we're gonna get working on this menu here. You found me on TikTok? I think you are the first person that has ever first of all, verbalize the fact that you found me on TikTok. Also, I forgot I had a TikTok. I don't use TikTok for literally anything other than just posting the shorts that I make on YouTube. So I am very surprised that someone actually found me from TikTok. It worked. That's crazy. But also, yeah, I haven't made any content in a while outside of live streaming just because I've been working on this. So my TikTok's been dead for a little while. So anyways, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is where the main juice is, not over on TikTok. But I'm glad that you found me. Anyway, see, this is why I don't get any work done whenever I'm streaming, because I just end up talking. All right, we're not going to worry about the coloring yet. We're just going to worry about getting everything into place, and then we'll put shadows on everything. We'll get everything designed. So I am just going to worry about placement right now. So basically, the way that I designed the main menu to look is, that's too big. It's going to say map select. There's going to be a little mini picture of the map right here. There'll then be arrows on either side that you can use to flip through the different types of map, which right now there's only going to be one. There'll be a big start game button down here, and then down here you can turn off the lobby music, because it does get repetitive after a while. I've heard it so much it's just become like the golden trophy music to me. It's just like I don't even comprehend it anymore. But yeah, more or less that's what the main menu here is going to look like. So it's not going to be overly, it's not going to have too much stuff in it, that's for sure. Alright, I don't know how I feel. That might be too low, too high. We'll leave it there for now. We'll probably change it. So yeah, so right now the only map that we actually have is Metro City. Which that's the one that the majority of the live streaming that I have done for this building has been taking place. Cause yeah, I've been live streaming the build of this room for a long time, long time. All right, yeah, you need to do live streams on TikTok from YouTube to TikTok. That seems like work, and probably not. Also, Baggy said, I found your Insta and Twitter, but not the TikTok. I also forgot I had an Instagram for this channel. But yeah, that's the same exact thing as the TikTok, whereas I just regurgitate the stuff I make on YouTube Shorts. But I don't have a Twitter. I don't have a personal Twitter, and I don't have a Twitter for this either. So, Baggy, that wasn't mine. You found somebody else's random Twitter called the eman102, apparently. All right, this text I want to be a little bit smaller, because this is just the description of the selected map. We're also going to have to make a little custom thing for that. All right, more or less that's where that's going to go. Start game. This is going to be a big piece of text right down here. Oh, you know what I didn't make when I was doing this? And when I completely forgot to make the players. Because it's underneath the start game. It's going to say players, 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, whatever. I forgot to make that. Wait, hold on. Did I make that? No, I didn't. I could have sworn that I did. I had the intention to, but I never did. So, whoopsies. Ah, well. That's something that we could maybe make. Because yeah, making the text is, the most thrilling thing of all time. It truly is incredible. So I'm very glad that we're going to have that experience to be able to share together. Alright, is that start game too big? I definitely feel like I want more room down here. So Metro City can move up. We'll have a smaller picture for the map. So we'll probably do that. You found someone named the eman102 with the exact Google image of a panda with glasses? Yeah, that's not mine. So somebody else obviously, was trying to either steal the handle in case I ever wanted to make a Twitter, which I don't. So, yeah, it's not me. But, okay, alright, anyways, what was it doing? I was going to move this up a little bit. Is that too little of room? So if the map changing is going to be basically halfway in between those two, that's going to be too high. Because if I'm a wee short individual, I have to reach way up above my head to be able to reach that. Huh. So do we shift this down? Okay, hold on. I want to get the start game. The start game is going to be the central point of the main menu. So that's what I want to get right. So if we can get that right, I think we can construct everything else around it. So, more or less, I want that there. Right? Is that a good spot? I think it needs to be smaller, or maybe the words can just be pushed together a little bit more. One of those two. I think mosquitoes have something against me. Every time I've gone outside, I've gotten bit, even when I have when you have bug spray on. Well, you may know this, or you may not, or this may be one of the random E-Man fun facts of the day. But mosquitoes actually prefer certain blood types over others. So you may just have the wrong blood type in terms of what mosquitoes actually like, because they may find your blood to be rather tasty, yum, which that honestly just sounds like a skill issue. So, all right, so I think the start game is slightly too big, so we're gonna scale this down just a hair. I think that was maybe too much. There we go. Also, I wasn't gonna have just the lobby music playing the entire time. I got I got some permission from Tiki Tac to use some more of his music, because he had some really good like kind of lo-fi stuff that I wanted to use in the live streams. Which when I added it to OBS, it was working fine. But then when I was trying to get this stream set up, I couldn't get it to work. Like the audio was playing through OBS, but I couldn't get it to actually play in the actual stream sound. So either way, maybe in the future we could have some music from Tiki Tac to jam out to as we build. But for right now, we're just stuck with the 4.5-minute loop that is the SpeedRunners menu soundtrack. Changing your blood now. Yeah, see, that's the way that you do it, Baggy. Just gotta change blood types every once in a while. Experiment to find out which ones the mosquitoes like. Alright, is that good? Okay, I definitely think the words can be squished together just a little bit. I don't think it should be too much. Maybe like that? I think that was maybe just a hair too much. What if we shift the word game to the right just 1 bit? How about 2 bits? You gotta love the official measurement. Alright, yes, that's perfect spacing. Do I think the height on the board is fine? Because if I'm just, some Joe Schmo and I'm just walking on up to the thing and I'm like, alright, start the game. Is that at a good height? If I'm a wee lad, I mean, it's right in front of me. So, I mean, that works. It's great for the little kids. But for us old farts, I mean, I don't want to break my back every time I got to go down to start the game. So, maybe we go up just a bit. Because we'll have down here then players, 1 out of 4. So I just want to make sure we leave enough room for that, but it's not too much of a gap that it looks weird. We're also going to have a big square around that. All right, let me build the square first, because then I feel like that'll help with the spacing. So let me edit this. Did I? Hold on. I don't think I separated this object from the rest of the text. I did not. Okay, all right, hold on. First, we're going to come in here. We're going to select all of the text. Yoink. We're going to split shapes. So now we can come in here and we're going to create big leg spike. And we're going to create a cube. It's going to be white for the time being. And we're just going to, another big leg spike. Gotta really appreciate this new Maker Pen UI. It's been so fantastic. I mean, I more or less just started to get used to it, which is not a good thing. But now that I'm actually streaming and I'm conscious of like my performance and the amount of lag, the smoothness of the game, definitely starting to pay attention to it a little more. All right, so okay, now that I'm definitely seeing it like this, I want it to be, I mean, if I grab the back here, I can make it a little bit more rounded. That might be enough. So what I'm trying to decide right now is we have the border like that. I want this to be rounded like it is. However, I don't know. I kind of want it to be more rounded like this, but the way that I had to do that was, when you get in here, you can still really see those discrepancies. You can't really see that from down here, but when you get close, it is not very good. But yeah, this is a square, especially from the back here, with 4 of those, whatever those pieces were called. I think those are actually domes, I think is how I did it. But it creates that more rounded square look versus this just having those corners slightly rounded. So I feel like we may have to put some work into that border to get it to be what I need it to be. But either way, I think we can use that right now for just getting the spacing right. So here, let's swap back over to handheld. There it is. Here again. So yeah, we'll use this just for temporary, and then we'll probably build But you're officially an old fart after pulling your back. Oh yeah, that's right. You are an old fart. Welcome to the team, Baggy. All right, so I feel like I don't want to go lower, but I don't want to go higher either. I feel like it should go lower, but I don't want to go lower. So what if we bring it up? What if we just do the opposite of what I feel like it should be? You know what? I feel like that kind of works. I'm gonna have to get some stuff out so I can test the spacing on either side here. Oops, that's selecting way too much. Yeah, well, I mean, there we go. That's what I need. Which this needs to go slightly to the right. Is this wait? How? This isn't centered from the start game, but the start game looks centered in the entire thing, but the Metro City doesn't. I'm so confused. I'm gonna have to get some stuff out to actually measure. Okay, so if we more or less just have, you know, I'm just more or less worried about this height right now. I don't really care about this. But is that good? I mean, let's use this as the stand-in for what the player's text is going to be. So if we have this down here, and that said players 1 out of 4. Just use the imagination. Would that be good? There's a lot of space down there at the bottom. So I mean, what we could do is we could do players and then 1 out of 4 underneath it. Like that. Maybe. I don't know. Alright. Does that work? I don't know. With that, I feel like it's too much text that's going straight up and down here. Like it looks like a food pyramid kind of thing. I don't like the way that it's looking. It just looks silly. So how do we make this look less stupid? Because this lobby music on-off thing, that's going to be tucked down here in this bottom left-hand corner. So this is just going to be where that is, but there's going to be some more text down here. So that'll help separate it up a little bit. There'll be an arrow there, picture there. So, I don't know. So this is what I do. This is when I'm sitting here, I'm just thinking of like what, design changes I need to make. Is I just sit here and I jump around in a circle. If you've ever seen Mumbo Jumbo and his Minecraft stuff that he does, and whenever he's talking to people, he's sitting there fidgeting around. The other person's just sitting there standing still, trying to have a normal conversation. Yeah, it's basically what I do. So I mean, like, how do I? There needs to be more things happening on the outsides. So I mean, like, we could have, like, an option is we could take this blue trim that's like going up and down here, and we could have that split and across to kind of create a little bit more of a actual design to it. You could even have it down here at the bottom, and then we could tuck the lobby music thing inside of that little triangle. That might round it off too much, though. I think we maybe should only have it up at the top. I'm not like stupid, though. We might have to do a different color than what this blue is. That might be the play. I don't know. Aggressive fidgeting? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to describe it. Very aggressive fidgeting. Okay. I think... Okay, is the start game button, oh goodness, at a good height? if I come over, I mean, for someone that's my height, I mean, more or less, I think I'd rather have it like slightly up higher, but I don't think I can get it up higher without having to cramp this space too much. So I don't know. That is the question of how do you actually make it look good. Okay. Do we just move forward with it for now? Yeah, I say we move forward for now, and then we'll figure it out later. We'll put the fine tuning on it later, I should say. All right, I now need to actually make sure that this is spaced evenly on either side. So I'm going to big brain it. Get ready for some lag spikes. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. That's what I like to experience when I'm making things. It's massive lag spikes whenever I try and do literally anything. But hold on, we're gonna see my masterful technique after another lag spike. So we just get it to touch the edge of that, and then we come over here and we get to the edge of the blue. So now all I have to do is clone it over to the other side and see where this spacing lies. So we can see it is significantly further to the right than it is to the left. So now all we have to do is come here and select the map select text and even out the spacing on either side. Like that? Is that even? I need to go to the right just a hair. Just a hair. How's that? Much better. Alright, so now we can delete this one. We're going to move this one down. And we're going to do the same exact thing down here in Metro City. So this is the big brain solution. Using 100% of my brain power right now. Well, 101%. I don't think I actually have normally enough to actually pull this off. Alright. See, this is something that I've noticed though, especially when like doing thumbnails and whatnot, is because that semicolon is right there on map select, it actually makes the text look like it's more shifted over this way, even though it's centered. Because like for some reason in our brain, just the way that we like perceive the space of it, because the text takes up more space, we think that the semicolon like shouldn't be part of the judgment for centering it. So I feel like I should shift it over to the right just a hair. So even though it won't be perfectly centered, our brains will still see it as perfectly centered. I know that made zero sense because I explained that horribly, but I swear there's logic behind it. For some reason, E-Man streams are very entertaining. I watch back my own streams and I'm like, why does anyone watch this? So I appreciate that you think it's slightly more entertaining. You could really just have this going as background like a podcast. I mean, honestly, yeah, you don't have to really see what I'm doing. I feel like I'm one of those obnoxious live streamers who just like describes everything that they're doing in excruciating detail. So it really could just be a podcast. I mean, you all don't even need to see what I'm doing. All right, anyways, we're going to shift this over to the right just a hair, just so I think that we see it as slightly more centered. So we're just going to go do just that much, just that tiny little bit. My brain sees that fairly centered, but still actually slightly shifted to the left. We're going to leave it for right now, though. So Metro City, this was actually relatively centered here, but we're just going to shift this over to the left just a hair to get it perfect. This doesn't have any punctuation at the end, so we're not fooling our brain. Oh, come on. Do the thing. Okay, there we go. That's more or less good enough. Cool beans. I almost deleted the other side, which we do not have to do that. What I am going to do, though, is I'm actually going to delete that, though, because we don't really need it, because if I can get the start game to be centered, I can then build the border around it. So I don't think that's the border is necessarily what we need to be measuring. We need to be measuring the actual text here. So let's go ahead and do that. Yoink. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I'm doing a Japanese style squat and I am losing balance. I'm going to actually sit down again. There we go. All right. Okay, well, I find that I didn't want you to go all the way over anyways. No, yeah, I intentionally let go of the trigger button so that I could annoy myself with having to press more buttons. Thank you, game, for reading my mind. Okay, come on. Ooh, that's a big select thing. There we go. All right, so we're going to shift this over to the left then. Ooh, it's because there's that gap in the S. It's kind of throwing me off, but I think that's more or less centered. If we look at it from here, yeah, it looks pretty centered. Kind of down with that. What I am noticing though is I kind of actually like these, like visually. So, I mean, we could put the border around it, but we could also have like just some stuff like that, or maybe just a line going across, splitting between those. That might visually look good. So here, let me just, I'm going to forget that that's something that I wanted to do. So let me go ahead and just do this now, so we'll actually remember about it later. Right. I don't know. That does not look very good. No, because that's like separating into two separate pieces, kind of like what this over here is doing for these, which that was intentional. I don't want to have that effect here on the menu, so I think it needs to be like the one on each side. Which what if we did that for the name of the map? Ooh, but no, because when we change the map selection, this text is obviously then going to cycle out as well for whatever the name of the map is, which it might have to be longer or shorter, so it'll be hard to get those to be a good length, unless we just like left ourselves plenty of room with it. And we just did something like that. I mean, I kind of like it. I don't know. Okay, yeah, we'll have to build out the rest of it, and then we'll have to see if it actually looks good or not. I'm gonna move this lobby music text over to where it actually needs to be. And then do we go build the players thing? It's gonna be annoying, but we can't really finish the rest of the main menu thing without it. All right, yeah, we're gonna go do that, but I'm gonna do the border around start game first. All right, lobby music. This text does not need to be big at all. I don't know how this is going to sit, because I'm probably gonna make like a custom button type thing that's gonna sit down here. Which, do we have the on-off below the button, or above it right there? I mean, like, what we could do... Oh, gosh darn it. So the problem with working with things that are so small. Now I'm tiny. Oh, and the select thing is just as big. Okay, alright. Well, that was more painful than it had to be. You all, like, can't even see what I'm doing because I'm so small. Alright. We're going to leave it like that for now. That's probably one of the things that we'll decide on later, what that will actually finally look like, or to look like in the final product. Alright, so let's build the border around start game, which we could just clone it over from the YouTube logo, but that's not perfect. It has a bunch of issues with it. So I'm thinking I can just probably recreate it and it'll be like actually, I don't want to say perfect, but perfect. Which, let's change it up. Let's switch over to a first-person view here for a little bit as we make this. So, big leg spikes as we do this, as always. We're going to start with this. Start with the cube. And then it was mounds. Mounds is what we were using, right? Pretty sure. But the problem is, with mounds, is that it's the slope, so we have to do it flat like this, which is going to run into its own problems. But more or less, that's what it's going to look like. And the question is can we just have this on the edges and then just have it be flat top and bottom? Or do I want it like that, where it's rounded on the top as well? I think the only way that we can decide that is by building it. What, can I do it with tubes? Hold on. I can't do that with tubes. I can't have a rounded top. But I can pull this off significantly more ink effective if I just do tubes. Also, yeah, making this room, I've gone from like never using tubes ever to actually getting somewhat comfortable with using them, which I really surprised myself with. I did not think that I was going to be able to actually get good with them. Well, maybe good's a little bit too strong of a word. All right, but if we bring this down to 4, it's more or less what we want it to be. We can go ahead and turn the size of this up. That's pretty close to what it'll need to be. So if we then turn snapping on and rotation all the way up, we can then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's actually 7 points. So let's do an 8th. And then let's just do a couple extra just in case. Okay, so now if we edit this, yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we've got 10 points. So we can have the very ends. We can basically have 5 on each side. So 1 here, and then we can do 4 to round it down. Definitely think that would be more than enough to work with. So let's bring this down all the way to the bottom. Let's then, actually, you know what, let's do this back up so that we can just evenly space these out. Never mind, I didn't want to anyways. Was this set to, oh wait, no, I was 1 up too high. Whoops, that's why. Now will you let me do it? No, it's still not. See, this is why Rec Room doesn't make sense. It was set to 0.1, not 0.05, right? Yeah, I mean, it's not the same spacing there was when I was placing it. That's this is why Rec Room's stupid. It's not even consistent within itself. Like, I literally didn't even change anything. All right, anyways, we're going to slot. Oh wait, hold on. I have to turn this back off. Okay. I think that's good. Nope, needs to go back in a little bit more. Perfect. So we get this more or less even on height there. That looks pretty good. Now, just actually getting everything spaced correctly is what's going to be the hardest. So if because there's no really good way to measure this, it's just going to have to be eyeballs. Also, the whole thing needs to come down a little bit. Just like maybe 1 or 2 smidge. Smidge is an official unit measurement. Does it need to go? May need to go up one tick again, or that might be good. I don't know. All right. Holy cow! I opened up my Steam overlay to check the stream. Just make sure the stream is actually still running, and holy lag. Is this gonna clear up? Sometimes this clears up after a second. Sometimes it doesn't. This may have to be a game restart. Oh, okay. Wait. No, we're fine. All right, perfect. I'm gonna save the room just in case. Do a little bit of yoink on that. And then yeah, we're fine for right now, for the time being. Who knows if things will change though. All right, so okay, I'm sitting down right now. So if I'm standing up, it looks even enough. I mean, we can shift it up 1 tick. That's something that's going to be easy to do at any point during the process, so we're fine. So So we're going to edit this and eyeball this out to be roughly the same distance away on either side. Which, depending on how much I round it, I'm going to want some more space. That might be good. Can I also, where'd the music stop? If I save and reload the game, it it stops the music. I'm pretty sure. I think this is the. Oh wait, now I have to configure and then big lag spike. Oh, actually no. Oh wait, no, hold on. That's just the audio player. This is the actual lobby music right there. How do I get it to play? I mean, I can edit the sample. Oh, that's loud. Cool. Are we just not gonna have music for the rest of the time? If I leave and rejoin the room, that might fix it. I don't want to have to be just the only source of entertainment. We just saved, so we're set. All right, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, when is your next community live stream? I don't know. That's why I was kind of talking about earlier. I was jumping around in different community-made rooms trying to find good games that, you know, would be good content for community streams. But I'm just having a hard time finding stuff for that right now. So I don't know. We'll have to find out. Also, this isn't pretzels. Holy lag spike. That's not pretzels. How dare? How dare? I will not stand for this. How dare? How dare? Alright, anyways. SpeedRunners. Doink. Lobby. Cool. Alright. Also, Max Demon. How's it going? Hopefully we can actually get some music back. And then we'll continue more or less fumbling our way through the this outline. There's the music. Perfect. Alright, so I feel like before I do all this work with the tubes, I feel like I should just toy around with it visually, with just the domes, just so I can actually get the idea of whether or not I want to have it be rounded on the top and bottom or just on the sides. So to save myself some work here, get ready for some big lag spikes again. We're gonna just make some cubes. We're just gonna do that. And then we'll make some mounds. That's not the right way. Alright, anyways, big lag spike again. Oh, actually wasn't all bad. Alright. Let's just move this into place. This needs to be nice and flat. More or less like that. We'll set our size roughly. We could have it like rounded all the way out to there, really. Yeah, because for some reason I was thinking like I have to do it like that. But no, I can have it rounded like that. That works. Alright, so if we just do this with it, you have a few good rooms that you think would be good. If you have any suggestions for rooms that would be great for community streams, you can always just throw them right there in my my Discord in just the main chat, and I can go check them out. The link to join the Discord if you're not already in it is in the description of the live stream. We hang out there, we do stuff. That's about it. But yeah, that's a great spot where you can have some suggestions for any rooms for community streams, because yeah, I'm always looking for more. But yeah, right now the main thing is the reason that I haven't been streaming or making content nearly as much. I haven't actually made any content for like 4 months now. But reason is just because I've been very busy, so I only have about 2 free days a week, which that is not at all centered on the height. And so, yeah, it's just I have enough free time where I have to make the choice between either working on SpeedRunners or working on content. And just for the time being, I'm choosing SpeedRunners. So eventually we will get back to making actual content again. But that'll probably not be until closer towards this winter. So for the time being, just some occasional live streams and some updates on SpeedRunners. All right, this is not right, but okay, come on, just get centered. Oh my goodness, how hard is that? Okay, that's about as good as we can do. So that's kind of stupid. I think we need it rounded on top and bottom. So I'm glad we didn't spend that entire time with the tubes just to find out it didn't work. So obviously some changes need to happen with it, but we can then round it out on top and bottom. So I think, first of all, I think this is just too sharp of an angle there. That just looks stupid. Let me go ahead and delete that because we're not going to be using it. So I think first order of business here is going to be shrinking this down like so. So then, I mean, more or less that's how that will look. And if we just try and get it samey spaced over here, let's check that out. Alright. Yeah, it looks slightly better. If we then have it, rounded here on top and bottom, I definitely think that would really help. So let me go ahead and perfect these joint pieces here. I think it was good where it was. Alright, yeah, there we go. Alright, so now, if we go ahead and we clone this over, we rotate it, we move it up, and then we yoink, and then we yoink, and then we can yoink. I mean, I think that's it. I think that's how we do it. I mean, because the fact that I have to use mounds instead of tubes, I mean, it's taking up significantly more ink, but I can't think of any other solution to get this effect with the rounded all the way around. Looks a bit chunky, I'm not gonna lie. So we need to find a way to do something about that. I think the whole thing, we could probably just shift the whole thing slightly to the left and then maybe slightly down. Because if you look at it there at the S, I mean, the S is pretty evenly spaced from top to bottom, but if you come over here to the other side and they're on game, like, I mean, that just looks crazy off. And it looks too chunky here in the middle. There's just too much space there. But there isn't really a good way to reduce that unless we make this even smaller than it is, which is already like as thin as I kind of wanted to go. Let's do one tick down here. That was 2, but maybe that's good. It's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so yeah, this is the problem that I was having with this. I'm now realizing is because that when you make it too thin, well, this also I rotated, which I should not have done. That looks horrible up close. But when you have it thin enough to be able to actually make the middle here, like, not have the gap. Well, I mean, that's sticking out now. But I can't go out any further because it's not sticking out here. But yeah, I mean, like, so now if I try and get it where this is right there at the edge. It's sticking through there before it shows up. So we have to have like a slight part there where it's gonna be flat. All right, let's just toy around with this the best we can. Let's clone this here to the bottom side. And let's just take a look-sees on how she's looking. I think that's as far as we can go. I mean, you can't really see the discrepancy there on the corners. I mean, even when you get really close, I mean, it's pretty small, just the amount that it goes from rounded to flat to rounded. So I feel like that's something the average player isn't going to actually notice. But yeah, let's shift the entire thing a couple smidgens to the left. Which, yeah, that's the same object as the text. Whoops. Select these one by one. So we're going to move this to the left. I'm going to make myself as small as possible. We're going to do 3 texts. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And now... now I don't know. It's still out my head. I smacked it against something. But yeah, it's still looking too chunky, but I don't know what else to do about it. Also, I think my laundry's done. Because yeah, the problem is just this S looks perfect, but once you start moving down, I mean, the rest of it just does not look good. Part of it's because maybe the G is slightly too small. I spent forever trying to make that G look good because this G is not good because it's like all not straight. It's all types of squiggly. So I modified it quite a bit, try and get it to look a little bit better. And when it's sized up, it just doesn't look as good. So I can't have it be as big as the S. Can I make the S smaller? Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, we're going to clone this down so I can mess around with it without screwing anything up too permanently. So if I scale down the S, maybe about that much. I want it to be more or less the same size as the G, which that's pretty good. Then we move this down. Like that. I think it still needs to come down 1 hair. I mean, that looks more or less in line with the T, but... let's try that. Alright. Now, I think I'm just now noticing this because the S is now smaller. But this doesn't look like a straight line going across. Like, it looks like ST is in a line and then art is slightly lower. I don't know if I'm making that up. But does art need to go up or does Saint need to go down? I think art is in the same height as game there. So I think I need to move the S and the T down slightly. So let's shift this down just a hair, and then we're going to see how that looks. Because, I mean, more or less, this is the central focus of the menu here. So if anything needs to be perfect, it needs to be this. I can't tell. I think I'm in my head about it now. Because now game's looking slanted too. I think the G is slightly higher than the AME, but I don't actually know. Yeah, I think it is. I think we need to bring the AME slightly up. Let's try it. So we grab these 3 letters, then we yoink. Also, everything would just be so much easier if I just used like the actual Rec Room text, but it's a little too late for that. Besides, now it looks cool and custom and other things. Yeah, it was definitely lower, 100%. Oh, that was probably too much though. I just want to go one more tick. As small as I can. One tick. There we go. All right. Is that better? Does it need to go up even more? Okay. The S definitely looks better. So I'd much rather have the bottom over the top here, because I think that S is significantly more proportional to the rest of it. Now that I'm looking up here on the map select, I mean the M and the S look way too big. But we're gonna leave that. Oh, maybe that needs to change too. Okay, all right. I think the art. Maybe it's just the A. I can't actually tell. I think the art and the AMT still need to come up, like maybe 1 or 2 ticks. Maybe the art needs to come up 1, the game or the AME needs to come up 2. Okay, all right. Let's do this. Bring this up 1 tick. I think that was 1. Hold on. Yeah, that was 1 tick. So now if we come over here to the AME and we select this. Let's go up 2 ticks on this one. 1, 2. All right. Does that look any better? Did I make it worse? Okay. We're 100% on the right track here. I think the ME now needs to come up 2 more ticks. This is one of those things where I've stared at it for too long now. I can't tell if I'm making it better or worse. All right, up 1, 2. Let's try that. So I don't like every time that I drop the maker pen, it puts me back at spawn. Okay. I think I made it better. I can't actually tell. So, banana indeed, Mr. Ghost Note. Wait, hold on. Why am I flying? Banana indeed. Banana indeed. But also, patat. And Quebec. Anyways, okay, so if we can now get rid of this one, because the bottom is, I would say, definitely better. But, hold on. I want to make sure I get the right height. Okay, how do I do this? How do I do this with making sure I then delete the right one afterwards? Okay, hold on. I think I know. I think I know what to do. If I take this and I clone it immediately up, and then I select all this, unselect that, delete that, select, oh, that's not what you want to see. Select. Now I can just bring this up where it's touching, or barely touching the top here. I forget I have sound effects. Hey, Little J, member for 9 months. Let's go. Thank you, Little J. I appreciate you. Sorry, I'm not going to get overly excited for you versus somebody else. If it was anybody else, I'd get significantly more excited, but it's just Little J, so. You summoned me, I came. Yeah, we said banana too many times. Little J then showed up. Thank you, Little J. I do actually really appreciate you. And also, Little J may be selling me his Valve Index, so I might actually be getting a different headset, which may vastly help with, you know, streaming issues. Who knows? Maybe it is just the headset. It's just Oculus being stupid. All right, so if we shift this down just a hair. I mean, it still looks stupid. It's just with the, because the fact it's a capital letter on the left side and it's a lowercase letter on the right side. It's just, I feel like no matter what I do, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look even. But $2,000 for the index? you now charge me double the market price? Was it only because I made fun of you because you got a membership? I'm so sorry, Lil J. What can I ever do to make it up to you? Okay, that looks better. That definitely looks better. I feel like it's even now in the S. It looks less stupid on the right side there. It still looks a little bit too chunky top to bottom in the middle, though. Do we go? Maybe we go down one more. Hold on. I don't think I can make the top and bottom any less rounded, though. Or any less tall without making it look stupid. Which, why is that? See, this is why I'm stupid. I didn't do anything to change this side, and yet this one has shifted up somehow. I mean, maybe I just didn't select it when I was slightly shifting it at some point, but... Alright, we did 2 tiny little ticks there. Let me get this one back lined up. It's probably just a me problem, and I was too busy that I didn't recognize it, but I still blame Rec Room for everything, so. Alright, up one more tiny little tick. Is that too much? It was too much. Come on. Just one tick, please. And that was too much that direction. Yes, no, I can't even get this lined up. Even though it's on the same snap thing, I cannot get it to line up. This is why Rec Room is stinky. I have to freehand it here. There we go. That's as good as I can get it. Anyways, alright. Imagine spending that much on a sign, that much time on a sign. You can be quiet about it, Jay. I may or may not have been working on this main menu for pretty much the entirety of the stream so far. Okay, I definitely like that. I think it looks better. It's definitely slightly down. I feel like we could maybe get away with even a little bit more. But again, it's that same thing with the semicolon up there. Is it, even though it's not technically centered, it looks centered. And looks is all that matters. So... what if we just scale the whole thing down just a little bit? I think that might be rough to do. Also, if we actually change the colors of things, I feel like that might actually help me with making these design decisions, because right now it just does not look the greatest. If it actually looks like it was supposed to, that might help. If we scale this down to right about maybe... I went backwards. Right about there. Does that look better? Oh, 100%. I mean, this E is a little bit close, so we could maybe... it needs to get shifted over to the right just a hair. Which those corners still look about as good as I can get them, so... I'll take it. So let's shift this to the right. 1, 2, 3. I think that's the... I think we're just undoing what we did earlier. It needs to go to the right. Maybe just 1 or 2 more. Alright, Lori, what's going on? And also, EA Sports, it's in the game. I don't have the energy to give the voice a go, though. So, let's pretend like it was better. Okay, so hold on. I mean, it looks pretty close, so let's do 2 ticks to the right. 1, 2. Let's try that. Better. I think we need to rescale it up 1, or what if we just lowered it? Because again, it's not going to be centered, but it may still look centered. Try 1, maybe 2 ticks. Let's do this. Let's do 1, let it go, do 1 more, because then we can just hit undo and we can actually look at it. So if we hit undo, yeah, you can't really, there's virtually no difference between the two. But I think that's good. It needs to go over to the right slightly more. Is it just from the angle that I'm looking at it? No, it needs to go over to the right a little bit more. And you wonder why I have been working on this for 5 months. This is why. But arguably this is the most important part of the lobby, so Because, I mean, this is what players are going to see when they load into the game, is they're going to see this, and the main thing that's going to draw their attention is the Start Game button. So I feel like I have justifiable reason for spending so much time on it. Alright, that looks the best that we've had it. Could maybe go down even more. Let's bring it down another 2 ticks. I feel like we could get away with that. 1, 2. Alright. Let's try scaling it up. Just one thing. I want to see how that looks. Because I feel like I like the size of this, but just here on the edges, it's getting too close to the actual text. I need to find out which direction is actually going to be. That was scaling up. Okay. So now is it too chunky? Or does that look good? I think I like that better. But it can maybe move down a little bit more. Okay, no, I think that's good for right now. I might change it as time goes on. We'll have to see. Also, seeing Little J's thing, that he became a member again, or he's been a member for 9 months, is that we're still doing the same thing, that if you donate at any point, you actually get your username hidden as an Easter egg, and we're actually going to hide it as an Easter egg inside of the lobby here. So instead of doing it inside the map, or where you're only going to be spending some of your time, you'll actually get it inside the lobby, which is where players are going to be spending most of their time. Which there's already Easter eggs that are hidden around here that is incentivizing people to kind of look in some of the nooks and crannies. So, getting your name hidden as an Easter egg in here would be kind of epic. Just saying. But if you donate, we'll get your name hidden in there. It does have to be a donation. It can't be a membership, unfortunately. So you can't pull Little J, but also Little J, did we have your name? Because have you ever donated on one of the building streams before? Because I can't remember if we've got your name in the actual map or not. I don't know. Either way. Also, for those that don't know, Forever Blade, there's Little J. He's one of my good friends. He's one of the ones that I do the odds with. That's why it's been a lot more casual talk between him. So, I mean, sorry, that sentence did not make any sense, but that's why. I completely lost my train of thought. What? Okay, give me a second. Thinking, main menu. I want to see if I can maybe recolor it so then it can actually look good. So then I can continue designing it. Definitely taking a step back, looking around at other things, looking back at this. I do like that, the border that we have around it. I think that looks really good. What colors do we do the text though? Because I'm going to have a drop shadow on start game and map select. Probably. So we could have those two. We could have start game be its own color so it really draws the eye. We could maybe just do white. Kind of put it in line with that. We could maybe then do map select that gray color. And then maybe we have the borders then be that blue. Okay, hold on. Let's whoops. Let's do this. Let's get this color. Oh, that is one piece. Eyedropper, recolor. Yoink. Do. Oh, that's not part of the same thing. Yoink, yoink. Herd shapes. Configure. Big leg spike. Still set to decorational. Perfect. We're going to turn off both of those just because why not? Another big lag spike. We edit, recolor. Alright, so that's what I'm thinking what that'll be. If we then get this white, which I think was the white that I was using before, but either way, if we get that white and we recolor this, how does that look? That looks pretty good. Definitely if I put a drop shadow on that, I think that'll look actually pretty dang good. So if we take this and we clone this bottom right here, just a hair, I think we need to go like that. And then bring it in just a little bit. And we recolor Lex back. And let's just get just this one. Oops. Still has that selected. Perfect. And why am I lag specking again? Make sure I'm actually selecting the right one here. Yeah, there we go. See, look at that. Hold on. Do you see the difference that lag spec between that? I mean, it looks a little bit funky since there's the two, but I mean, it being just white versus having the shadow, it is a world of difference. It is an actual, truly world of difference. I mean, like, even this, because this has two, because it has the blue and then the black, which that really looks really good. That I'm absolutely in love with, because that's the same thing that I did for the SpeedRunners logo. But I mean, like, it looks good, man. It looks good. Alright, anyways, so yeah, so I think I like it being white. I think that's good. I might change the color of these strips, though. I don't think I like it being the blue. Now that I'm seeing the blue, I mean, now that we have the drop shadow and I'm seeing the blue around it, I think it needs to be slightly bigger. That's going to be a later problem. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so I think what I'm going to think about is what color the rest of the text is going to be. Because we can't forget that we're going to have the players thing down here. So if we do we have it be the same color of white up here for map select? Because I mean, I want the start game to draw the attention. I think the border around it is going to do that. So I think having the map select the same color won't necessarily draw the eye. It'll still be appealing to the eye, so it'll be like the second thing that they'll notice. But I don't think it's going to be the first thing that they'll notice. Also, do I want to change the size of the M and the S? Because I mean, it's kind of big. We'll leave it for now. Also, I'm realizing, since we have a black background, we're not going to be able to see the drop shadow unless we do it like a gray. That'll be a problem. We'll have to figure that out. But if we take this, we bring it down. There? I think it needs to go one right, one down. One right, one down. That was two down. There we go. I think that'll be good. You can try it though. We bring this inside a little bit more, and then we're gonna recolor this because I think, is this a cardboard or is that grass? I don't remember. That might be the. All right, let's do this, and then let's select back. Let's do slate color. How does that look? Pretty good. I'm actually really happy with that. I think that's the right amount of pop out for it. Yeah, and with it being that significantly lighter shade, I think that's definitely noticeable. Alright, cool. So, now, that's what that's going to be. What color is the rest of the text going to be? I want it to be background text. I don't want it to be the first thing that you see. I don't want it to be obvious. I want it to just be there, which the lobby music I definitely want to be more or less really hidden. Which now I'm remembering the absolute pain of having to switch colors is the it's because that's where a lot of the lag happens. So if we just have that be that dark gray, I think that's perfect. We'll have the players 1 out of 4 thing down here. I think that'll be a lighter gray. What about for the name of the map? What color do we do that? I don't really want to do the blue. I don't think the blue will look good. I mean, we could maybe do the darker blue, like this color, do that. But I feel like if we were to do that, we'd want the drop shadow, which I don't want to have to do a drop shadow. So we could just do like a really light gray. Let's try that. Let's try a light gray. So if we, big leg spike. Let's run slate right now. What if we bring it all the way up to fog? What if we bring it down to gray? I feel like it needs a border. It needs a background. It needs a border. Once we get the actual like little mini image for the map, I think we might be able to make a better call with that. But for right now, I think that's where we're gonna leave it at. Question is, so what do we color these? I could do something really subtle like that. Or we can make it more obvious. Do something like this. No, I think the more subtle is probably good. I mean, it's not bad. I don't hate that. I think it would be a lot better though. But maybe for right now, we can leave it. Alright, for right now, we're going to leave it like that. I think having this being that darker gray makes this pop out just the right amount more. That I think that's pretty good. So I'm definitely enjoying that. I think that's good. Alright. Okay. Let's finish up the other 3 things that we need for the main menu, and then I think we're going to wrap up the stream. Which we got, I mean, so I thought this was going to take me way longer than it did, which it took me a long time, but that just goes to show the rate that I build at, is that I think this was pretty good pacing for making this. So, I definitely think we need some more design on it. I think definitely having that, maybe we can use that same color up there for those little angles up top. That might actually really pop things out. Really help pop things out. Goodness. Big lag spikes. Let's go. Alright, so if we take this, we clone this up, we rotate this just by hand to be what we think it needs to be. And then we do a bit of that, and a bit of that. Now we just need to get this to be the right height out. Let's bring this in so it's more squared. Oh, that's sticking up top there. Let's see if I can get this to be still sticking up. It's still sticking up. Can I bring this down at all? Yes, I can. There we go. And that is, well, it's still slightly sticking up. Okay, well, if we do that, alright, you still can't notice it from there. Perfect. Okay, so now we just kind of have to freehand this. Let's get this actually right there to the edge, like that. So now world space is on. We clone this over, just get this corner lined on up. Like that. And boom. Now we have a little bit of extra border up there. I think that helps. I think maybe we could make it slightly less obvious. Have be a little bit more background, but I'm kind of digging that. So I think if we can just have some other piece of decor below that, I think that would be really good. Okay, anyway, so the three things that I want to do before we wrap up the stream is we want to get the arrows on either side. I want to at least start the little mini picture here because I have an idea of what it's going to look like, but I don't know. And then I want to have the players thing down here. So we're going to have to go make that real quick. Let's go start with the players because that's going to be the most annoying thing to do here. So if you want to know, or if you want to actually now witness what it takes to make all of this text that I have made of, you know, this, the numbers, that, the logos, all of that, the E-Man thing, the that, all of that text, all of this text, they're going to see just how painstaking it is. And we're just going to be making one word. All we're going to be making is the word players. So, this is going to be great. Basically, we start with one behind the first letter, because the first letter is going to be capital. So we get the L, and we're going to get the A. And we just kind of more or less get these in place, because the more that I've used these letters, the more that I've realized how off they are, and just like how they don't line up properly. So that's why I try and do all the text in segments, because then I can just edit it for the first word, and I can just take this instance of it and clone it over instead of having to get it from over here again. Because when you look in the alphabet, like everything looks fine, but like when you put the, you know, the A next to the L, it doesn't look as good. So it's just a lot of stuff that I've been having to toy around with it, but I think I more or less know how to change stuff how I need it to be. So we've got the E, we've got the R, and then lastly the S. Which all of the A is one that I've consistently needed to change. The Y is one that I've consistently needed to change, and the S. So we're using all of the ones that that I'm going to have to do some editing to. So then we get the capital letter. We're going to line this up more or less like so. And we'll use the L as the basis for everything. Okay, so now it's about getting the perfect spacing, because otherwise it just looks not good. So we're going to set the standard here between the first two letters. This guy is going to have to get scaled down, because it's just what I've learned with the A, is that the circle is just too big. So now we can yoink. Now we have to get this spacing to be good. Can't be too small, can't be too big. How's that? PLA is looking good. So now with the Y, if I remember correctly, it was just bringing this in, and then we can edit this piece to do that. Turn world space back on. We can go down slightly, and then we need to get this spacing right. So that's probably good. We'll get that figured out later. The E has always been a little bit big. I am realizing as well. I've been scaling that down. So we'll get this height lined up. That's probably good. The R is good, at least has been. We can come down a hair or two. Is the R actually too big? Nah, it's the right size. Just needs to go to the right a little bit. It's been a lot of trial and error trying to get good at actually making the custom words here. Alright, so now the S, which is the most annoying one to do. You honestly think SpeedRunners game is a little late? Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to come out in May, and that very much did not happen. So yes, I would agree. I think SpeedRunners is going to be slightly late. By the time we finally get it released, I don't think anyone's going to be playing Rec Room anymore, so it'll be fine. But we're chipping away at it one piece at a time. So we basically just have to condense the S to make it look good. But you may be wondering, why don't I just go back through on the actual alphabet and make these changes there? And to that I say, it's a good question. And that's all I have to say about that. But the primary reason is just because letters need to look different depending on what letter they're standing next to. So it's not one thing fits all. It's everything kind of has to be slightly custom. Because if you think about handwriting, you know, the way that you transition and write a B to an L is going to be different from how you write a E to an L. So that's kind of part of the making it not look like, you know, computer text and having it look like kind of neat handwriting or kind of like a Comic Sans kind of look is not everything is necessarily the same how it transitions from letter to letter. So, all right, slightly, yeah, it's slightly late, just a hair. Okay. Anyways, I think the S. Let's see if we can get it one smidge closer to the R. Which they're already like almost touching, but I think just visually it needs to maybe one more. What if we? I think I've scaled some of this down more than I normally do, but I kind of like how it's looking. So if we scale this down, maybe just 2 pieces, I think we can then get this to look good. That R is kind of low, I'm not realizing, but either way, if we do that, I am not a fan. I don't know. I think that S needs to come up, maybe. Just 2 ticks too much. I think that's good. Alright, so now that we have that, we now need to... You know what I just realized? There is a reason why I hadn't made this yet. Hold on. I'm going to have to do some experimenting here and find out whether or not we just wasted some time. Because I now remember why I did not make the player's text before. This is where I need to write things down a little bit more often. Okay, so the reason why I didn't do that, or I didn't create the player's word before, is because I had... Now remembering that I had planned that that text was just going to be the Rec Room text and it was not going to be a custom text because it's going to actually show the amount of players that are here. So instead of having to actually swap out the shapes for every time that a player joins or leaves, it would be significantly easier just to edit the text of it there to be able to do it. And also that's still too big. So maybe I didn't waste too much time, and maybe we can just use the players here and then just have the numbers be the Rec Room text. But I'm thinking it might still look stupid, and we might have to just have the entire thing be the Rec Room text, and we just wasted time. But we are going to find out. So we're going to get some big leg spikes here, because we have to go to palette, we have to go to search, and now we can type in text. Yoink. Alright, another leg spike. Let me do this make sure it's going to be flat up against it. And then just gonna move this there so it's more or less centered. Hold on here, hit configure, another lag spike. Love this game. Using the rough tubes as the maniacs not realizing you can make tubes unsmooth theory states. What? You using the rough tubes as the maniacs not realizing you can make tubes unsmooth theory. I don't understand what you're trying to say, but yes, when I was creating the alphabet, I did not realize that you could make the edges flat. That was something that I realized directly after the fact, or that was something somebody told me directly after the fact. So I kind of understand what you're saying, but not entirely. But yeah, sure. Yeah, that looks stupid. I mean, part of it is because it's the different colors, but no, it needs to, if we're going to have the very straight robotic looking text, it's going to have to all be that. So it's freaking Rec Room didn't even change anything with the Maker Pen UI, and now it just lags like crazy. It's so annoying. Okay, so if we do, oh, come on, let me go in front, please. Thank you. So if we do yoink, is that gonna center it like it wants to? Yes, yes it will. Perfect. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, yeah, we just wasted time creating this word. Oh well. Ah, this freaking lag, dude. Alright, we're just going to edit this. Pretty sure this is its own object right now, but okay, it's not what I wanted to select. Pretty sure it's its own object, but I don't want it. I don't want to accidentally delete something I don't want to, so yeah, it's its own object. Cool. So yeah, we're just going to put this right about there for now. We can make that slightly bigger. This freaking lag is going to be the death of me. It's going to be why I quit working on this when I'm 99% of the way of almost done. Alright, yeah, I think that's a pretty good size. Yeah, we'll definitely change its color. I'm not going to put a shadow on that one. Alright, but either way. There's that. So now, I'm going to make the arrows, which we're just going to make the arrows from these pieces here. I'm going to rotate this to 30, maybe? Yeah, that'll probably be good. So now if we clone this like so. Perfect. Is there a cheaper way I can do this? I mean, it's just 2 tubes. Yes, there is. Because this is 4 joints of a tube and 2 objects. I could do it with 3 joints, it being 1 object. However, we couldn't get the point here at the edge. So I think I'd rather have the point and sacrifice slightly more ink. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna do it like this, because I'd rather have it be pointed instead of rounded. Okay, so we'll position this right about there. Clone one over to the other side. We're gonna have to space that out, make sure it's actually good. Which definitely that left one needs to come in a little more. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It's starting to look a little bit too cluttered. I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm thinking if I just maybe just space things out maybe slightly better. I think that might help. This may have to leave. This may have to go somewhere else. I may have to move that down here. Or just put it like somewhere else completely, like maybe here. Because something's going to have to go here. Because this is one of the things where I've been trying to make sure I decorate the lobby just to make sure this area looks actually visually entertaining. and I had some old stuff that was all hanging out over here, which is actually now all tucked inside of inside of this wall. But all of that was hanging out in this area, so I finally was like, you know what, I want to actually see what it would look like as its finished product. So I moved it all inside the wall, and now I realized, yeah, it doesn't really look that good. It looks a little blank. So something's going to have to go here. I don't know what, but we might be able to have the lobby music be over there, or the toggle switch be there instead. Yeah, we're gonna have to make that call. For right now, though, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna finish up the main stuff that we were working on here. I'm just gonna use this again as our measuring tool. So if we get this right there and centered. Alright, so it's just about touching. Then we can move this over to here. It's just about touching there. So now we just move that over to this side. The same thing that we were doing before. Now you can see exactly how it should be. Perfect. Easiest way to do it. Alright. Yeah, that definitely looks good. It's definitely starting to get a little bit cluttered. So something's going to have to be done about that. But I'm definitely liking this. I'm thinking this is good. I think we can maybe bring the start game of the players slightly further down. I think that might help. I think that's something that I'm gonna have to try around with later. Or maybe if we do end up moving this, we could possibly move like the players somewhere else. Like maybe move that down to the corner. I think that should be center though. I think that should be something that's pretty obvious for players to see though. Which this is gonna be some lag, but I'd like to change the color of this so it actually blends in. Color. Was it slate? Is that what everything was? Yeah, it's slate. I mean, that's what that was. That's slightly brighter. Oh, I think I need to do the one brighter. The lag. The lag. Alright, great. Alright. Yeah, it's too clustered. It's the 8th time I've said that, but it's too clustered. I think the arrows could maybe go down just a little bit so it's centered. Yeah, I'll have to do that. See, right now these arrows aren't going to do anything because there's only one map to choose from. But depending on how much longer it takes for our other members to finish up on the rest of the maps, the rest of the actual game and the map, I might be able to make another map. That's a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to make a real quick little picture that we'll have. It may or may not be the final product that we'll use for it, but I just want to have something there so that it's what the main menu actually looks more or less like it's going to. Inventions. Oh, also, there is now an actual, please hold. There's an actual Timmy. There's a Timmy that you can get for your very own dorm room. It only takes up 0.3% ink. Oh, look at that! It's using 2 rooms. Crazy. But yeah, so Timmy's an actual invention now, and you can have a very own Timmy for yourself, hanging out wherever. So I released it earlier, but the eyes were too close together, so it looked weird. So then I took it down because I didn't know what was wrong with it. But I was like, it just looks stupid. So then I was toying around with it, and I ended up just moving the eyes further apart. And I was like, yeah, there we go. So then I re-released the invention. So anyways, if you want a Timmy, you can get it. You can get yourself a Timmy. All right. Anyways, anywhere somewhere through here is Timmy to pot. See how far apart his eyes are. It just does not look good. Also, look at how good this is, though. Like this looks like a pot, except it's made with tubes and shapes instead of instead of a Recum original object that, you know, takes up 4% ink for whatever reason. SpeedRunners props, this is what I was after. So if we then come here to tools, I've spawned this invention so many times, it's actually ridiculous. Wait, that doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to hit edit. We're going to select all. Why is that lagging out the game? This is not that many objects. And then we're just going to deselect everything on this one. We hit delete. We move this down. Also, I don't know why it spawns at an angle. It's kind of annoying. Just gotten so used to dealing with it. Alright, so now let's scale this down. Move this here. And then alright. So I don't know how big I want the picture to be. Is that kind of the best part of the background there? I don't like that side. I don't like that side. I think yeah, maybe right there is best. Also, these blacks are the same color, so they really blend in. I think that's fine, honestly. I don't know if I want to put a border up and around the what's going to be here, but either way, for right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to select all. I'm just going to eyeball it, maybe to there, maybe to here. Is that big enough? Let me just get this just in case I want to make it wider. I'm going to leave it like that for now and delete that. Yeah, I think I need to make a border just so that I can actually make the decision of how big I want it to be. And then maybe we can delete the border afterwards. I mean, maybe like around that size though. It needs a border. The whole thing could probably be slightly bigger too. So we can probably scale this up. About there. Trying to set it so that right side is gonna more or less be signifying how big it's going to be. I think that's pretty good. I kind of really like that. So if we go ahead, I mean, let's just steal this piece again. It's a straight line. Oh, probably more or less the size that we need. Almost. So if we go ahead and get this dead centered. Just like so. Edit, move. This is going to touch the edge. Just like so. So now we just clone this over the same side, or the other side. We're going to do the same exact thing that we were doing before. Like that. So now we can basically delete all of this excess stuff. Is that everything? It's everything. And let's just manipulate these down to being to the edge. Actually, I'm going to make myself smaller. Like that. Oh, and there's this one. I was like, where's the last one? It's because I can't see it because it's the same color. So if we delete that piece, and then we manipulate this piece in, I mean, I think that looks pretty good. Let me get rid of these. I'm fairly content with that. Yeah, I was thinking that this is, I mean, that was just gonna be the stand-in. I was gonna have to make like something completely custom to be the picture for the map. But actually, I really like that. Can maybe bring the whole thing down just a smidge, just since you can't see the black base. Do that maybe. Pretty content with that. I think I might mess with the sizing a little bit, but I'm definitely happy with it. Alright. So main menu is on its way. I'm not fully in love with everything about it. I'm thinking I might scooch the arrows slightly closer to the sides. And I might, and I 100% will, change the spacing on some of this stuff just so it looks less cluttered. But I'm pretty happy with that though. I mean, all things considered, it's not bad. I mean, when you compare it to most of the other rooms of Rec Room, no offense to everybody else, but I feel that's pretty good. I feel like that's pretty dang good. Alright. Anyways, we'll go ahead. We'll end the stream there. I mean, all things considered, it doesn't seem like we got that much done because all that we accomplished was building this. However, because of the pace that I build, that was pretty good. And even though the fact that I was streaming, because I talk a lot more, which then slows down my building even more, I'm pretty happy with the amount that we got done. This is something that I had been putting off for a really long time because I had no idea what design I wanted to go for and no idea what I wanted it to look like. But I'm pretty content with that. I mean, yeah, definitely still needs some changes in some of the colors and the spacing, but yeah, I think the big thing for me was when I took the screenshot of it and then I just started messing around with it in Photoshop just to like kind of get a broad idea of what I want it to be. Like that actually like allowed me to like formulate my thoughts of what it should look like, which I think just having that basis to then move towards actually implementing into the game, I think really helped with the creative process. So I may have to continue doing that in the future. Of just like, you know, maybe just getting just a sketchbook and just doing some drawings of just actually figuring out what things need to look like. But yeah. Again, I'm not going to promise any dates for when the game's going to be released because you all saw the pace that I'm working at. It is very slow. There's still a lot that needs to get done that is out of my control as well. So we're just going to keep chipping away at it one piece at a time. I can tell you that, you know, I have spent a lot of time working on this. So it's not lack of effort for the fact that it's not released yet, at least in my end. So it'll get out there eventually. And then, you know, in 2026, we can actually have some fun playing the game on a live stream with you all. But either way, thanks everyone for swinging around. I do really appreciate it. We'll probably just continue this schedule of me streaming about once a weekend. I know it's just the first one in a couple of weekends, but that's just because I was sick for a couple of weeks there. So, yeah, we'll try and keep it up that schedule. I'll probably mix it up between doing building streams like this, maybe once every other week, maybe once a month, just to kind of keep you all updated on what the progress on the room is. And then we'll probably do, you know, some other sorcery streams, Blade and Sorcery streams, and or community streams. So that'll be the schedule for the foreseeable future. Maybe come October, November, we'll start having more opportunities to do more streams, as well as actually going back to making content for videos and shorts and whatnot. But for right now, this is what it's going to be. So again, sorry, this is why it takes 7 years to end a stream, but thank you everyone so much for coming out. This is the wrong hand, but it's the controller that I grabbed, so adios. And I will hopefully see you next weekend if I can make my way on over to my computer. Alright, adios. Bye.